just going to be just twiddling your thumbs. You know what I mean? If you study the laws of nature, it does not work that way. You know what I'm saying? Nature is not interested in who and what we are emotionally. Nature's only concern is to sustain itself. Period. You know what I'm saying? Period. Nature will create a plant that will heal, and nature will also create a plant that will kill. You know what I'm saying? So nature's only interest is to maintain.
I gotta leave it there.
Is to maintain the balancing of itself. You know what I'm saying? It's not interested in all that God in heaven.
You pray to God, brother?
You know what I'm saying? No.
You pray to God at night?
I don't pray to God tonight.
Who you pray to,
See,
brother?
what most people fail to realize is that when you pray, you're speaking to God. But when you meditate, God is speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different paradigm. You know what I'm saying? Because true spirituality is developed based on one putting themselves through a discipline. And a discipline is aligning oneself with the ability to take on a hardship and find peace within it. Period. You know what I'm saying? So anything outside of that, anything outside of developing one's character, that's why we had the mystery systems. That's why we had rites of passage.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's because it was to mold this the crystallization of spirituality, which is all living organic matter. All living organic matter is the crystallization of cosmic intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because in the entire universe, based on occultic science, is all mind. You know what I'm saying? So we're all a reflection of a thought process.
Why do you use occultic, the terminology that Brother Rashid also uses it, when the scriptures say that is a no-no when it comes to the creator? I don't understand.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because for one thing, Brother Rashid, that's my first cousin.
Oh yeah, Brother Rashid,
Right?
big
I mean,
ups.
Now, secondly, is the occult. They took the occult and hid it from us for the simple fact is that was our salvation. You know what I mean? Because the occult taught us, you know what I'm saying, how the principles of the universe based on the first reflection of all living organic matter, and that is the atom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the atom is responsible, you know what I'm saying, for all that's in existence.
Of course.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So if they teach you, if you learn about the principles of the atom, when you start dealing with the proton, neutron, and electron, and then when you go beyond the atom and you start dealing in the realms of antimatter, and you start moving out of the laws of duality, you know what I'm saying? That's how you find true salvation, because the sun, how can I put this? The very fact that the sun has come into creation is Luciferian, because the sun disrupts the natural order peace within the triple blackness of space in the cosmos. The sun disrupts that peace. That's Luciferian.
So the occult then has nothing to do with the worship of Satan.
No, because there's no such thing as God and the devil. There's no such thing as God and the devil. The only thing that matters, the only thing that is relevant is universal law and principality.
Who put those laws into place?
I mean, who put
You
the
have
creator
laws,
itself.
All right.
The creation itself. Creator itself put those laws into place. You know what I mean? And these are the cultic sciences. You know what I mean? These are the cultic sciences. The word occult only means that which is hidden.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That which is hidden. And they had to come up with that term because at the time, you know, anybody who was studying occultic science was put to death.
Exactly, yes.
You know what I mean? Because their whole purpose was to diminish and desecrate the female principle.
Well, what's your opinion on God and the devil, brother?
My opinion? Well, according to the text, there are individuals of another level. What I'm hearing from the different brothers who are speaking, they don't really exist in the sense of a God and the devil. What does that mean? I'm kind of confused by that statement. They don't exist. In what sense? If there's a creator, who is he or who is she? So they had names in Egypt, they had names in Babylon and Chaldea. So who are they? They don't have a name. What is the creator? What is it just an energy? Or is it a spiritual being?
Go online and put in Anunnaki.
So you're trying to figure out if they existed or not.
Exactly, you have to. So if you say Jesus didn't exist, or Yahshua didn't exist, or Muhammad didn't exist, then Yahweh didn't exist. And who is Yahweh? And if Yahweh isn't the true creator, then who is? We have several different names in different cultures, so who are they?
That deals with the planetary star system as well.
Now the brother is trying to figure out if Jesus, Yahweh, Muhammad, if these are actual historical figures. So being that you into metaphysics, brother, who is Jesus metaphysically? Did he exist historically?
Jesus, the problem is that we become too literal as a result of being too dense within the material realm. You know what I'm saying? And the principles that are being taught in the Bible are not to be taken literally, because the word Yahweh represents the four cardinal points of the universe, which is fire, air, water, and matter. Period. You know, we use terms like Jesus and different things of that sort because they were sigils, they were archetypes. You know what I mean? Because the way our consciousness processes information is not based on words, it's based on symbolisms.
Why didn't the master teachers teach that?
Who do you mean by the who's the master teacher?
Elijah Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? All these different men, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. I mean, we know Chancellor Williams, Henry Clark, they didn't believe in no Christ anyway, you know what I'm saying, or Muhammad. So I think about the equation, but the so-called religious spiritual leaders, they never taught that aspect of it. And that's not that way from what I've ever heard. They always about how Allah is a God, and he's saying there is no God. So that means Elijah Muhammad is a liar. There has to be Allah, because there's no God. He said Allah is God. The brothers out here saying there is no Allah. So that's what's very confusing. Well, we have these men who said they was.
I think that they in a lot of ways they focused on teaching spiritual principles based on things that were outside of ourselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
As opposed to being able to identify with the principle introspectively. You know what I mean? Because we're dealing with centripetal and centrifugal forces. That which moves outward in, and that which works inward out. You know what I mean? So there is an exchange. You know what I'm saying? There is an exchange of understanding that God is most prominent within the minuscule. You know what I'm saying?
But now, do you think these brothers knew the true science and they chose not to talk about it?
I believe some.
Because Martin Luther King was boule.
Yes, he was.
Oh, yeah.
You know he knew the metaphysics behind Jesus and all that, but he chose to keep it on a historical, through a historical aspect. So do you feel they think the people just wasn't ready to hear that? Just like Elijah knew that. Elijah said, we shouldn't eat pork. But Elijah also knew beef wasn't good for us as well. But he didn't feel as though the people was ready to hear all that. So he gave it to us slowly.
Yeah, he always talked about giving the babies.
Yeah.
But
So
that put you back though. But now you come to this barrier. What they were saying, you got to relearn and refigure what they said is accurate or not. So you're again fighting against what you've been taught and what you believe and what is really the truth. How would you know? Because you're being taught.
Look at it like a lot of the stuff that Elijah taught, like it was always classified as just stepping stones into higher knowledge.
So he laid a foundation, and it's for us to take it to the next level.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't going to be around forever to carry you.
I got you.
The information was pertinent at that time.
Okay.
The debate.
In 2007,
I got you, sis.
that information is no longer relative.
So it's